Wednesday, June 14th, and here are your top stories. Obama is making an effort to live up to his reputation as our most tech-savvy president, as the White House has decided to throw its weight behind the Internet of the future. As part of a plan to upgrade broadband in the U.S., President Obama just signed an executive order today that he says will make the construction of broadband networks along federal properties and roadways a whopping 90% cheaper. It's all part of the broader U.S. Ignite initiative, a plan similar to Google's fiber project in Kansas, which is uniting startups, local governments, federal agencies, and big-name tech companies like Cisco and HP to build a national 1 gigabit network, making it faster and cheaper for me to watch cat videos. Well, there's nothing more American than that. Okay. Now, meanwhile, the Reddit community is freaking out over the site censoring material from some prominent sources. The link-sharing site is evidently filtering out content from sites like The Atlantic, Phys.org, BusinessWeek.com, Science Daily, and others. Reddit's user base isn't happy that the site is interfering with the democratic, self-regulated community. But Reddit's managers say the move is an attempt to clamp down on, quote, cheating shenanigans and sources that game the system. Did you guys get what I meant?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Stop censoring yourself, Sarah!
Let's just move on, shall we? Reddit's GM responded to the uproar by saying, "You can't have democracy if people can rig the ballot box, unless you're in Florida." And finally, speaking of Reddit, one of the site's more observant users recently noticed that a brief shot from the season 1 finale of the Game of Thrones showed President George W. Bush's severed head on a spike. Yeah, news of the Dragon Egg gained the internet's attention yesterday, and now HBO has issued a formal apology for putting the prosthetic model of W's decapitated head on a stake, insisting it wasn't politically motivated. Rather, Game of Thrones producers say they can't afford to make all the fake heads and limbs from scratch, and they rent them in bulk and just so happen to have Bush's head lying around. In other words, we totally didn't think anyone would notice. Yeah, I'm Sarah Underwood, and you have just been fed